Hello, everybody. It is 7 on the dot, and I just want to say thank you so much for coming back each week, for learning, for wanting to do the work to become a more inclusive and culturally responsible educator. I'm going to wait a couple, about 50 seconds, 60 seconds to let everybody get in. I do want to say, do a gratitude shout out. This week, my gratitude is for all of the people on Twitter who have helped me in my new role. Whenever I'm now the ed tech person, ed tech curriculum and instructional specialist for my network, for my district. And there are always so many things. How can we do this? Or how should we do this? Or what do you think? And I am so thankful to have a professional learning network on Twitter that is responsive and helpful. And, we've really become something pretty close to IRL friends. And actually, you know what? We've become IRL friends. And I'm just thankful about that. That's my gratitude shout out. So at 7:01, I'm going to go ahead and get started. This week, I want to talk about Hispanic Heritage Month because, it's from this middle of this month to the middle of next month. It's Hispanic Heritage and everybody wants those resources. And I get that. And I'm really trying not to be in my feelings about it because I would love for us as a nation to be in a place where we don't celebrate certain populations during months. We don't celebrate the Hispanics during October and September, and we don't celebrate the Native Americans in November, and the Black people, we're going to celebrate them in February. I would love it if we would recognize how heroes and scientists and mathematicians and musicians all look so different, and they don't even have to be dead to be great. So that's kind of what tonight is all about. As we move forward as a country, I know there's sometimes this feeling that we want to rewrite history, but I tell this story all the time. Rhonda, my friend next door, she's an amazing lady, and she and her husband both have their kids are gone. They have dinner, I don't know, maybe 8 o'clock. I've never asked her actually. I know in my house, we pretty much eat at 6 p.m. That's our dinner time. And the people across the street, Ben and them, they have little kids, and they probably eat a little earlier so they can put their kids to bed at 8 or 9. That's all of those things are okay. Those are all correct. Those are all truths. My household does it like this. Rhonda's household does it like that. Ben's household does it like that. And there should not be, what goes on in my house is the truth. It's the story. That's just not the case. It's not history, it's history. So when we look back, I'm always hoping that people will begin to ask, hey, I only know Thomas Jefferson. Who else was there? What else was going on during that time? Or, oh, wow, you know what? I know all these great scientists that are dead. I wonder if there are any scientists that are alive. So as you begin to ask those kinds of questions, you yourself, and then to ask your kids when you're reading a vignette about a popular or famous mathematician, hey, I wonder if we know anybody else. If you go on Instagram, your kids love Instagram. If you have 6th, 7th, 8th graders and up, a lot of them do, then ask them, hey, let's see if you can find #math, #mathematics, # algebra, # math sciences, and see if you can find some current math heroes, some current science heroes, some musicians who might not look like dead folks, or who might not look like the characters that we're used to seeing. So having said that, because it's Hispanic Heritage Month, I did not do a small bites, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I did a Hispanic heroes and greats kind of a blog. So as you know, all of the resources are at hedricknichols.com. The link is in the chat. And of course, while you're there, you may as well subscribe. And I will get to the Friday 5. So first of all, there are musicians. There's a blog post from All Classical Portland, and you can learn about all of these well-known classical composers of Hispanic heritage. Now, math is a place that we really don't see a lot of diversity. I think that probably the women in NASA, that was the Hidden Figures, was probably the first major, hey, there are mathematicians that are not white and are not dead. So that was kind of an impetus for us. This particular resource is from Lathisms, not mathisms, but Lathisms. And they have a great collection of resources and podcasts that are super for this month and next month and the month after that, and the month after that, and the month after that. All right, for my peeps out there who are into history, there's an African proverb that says, until the lion has his own scribe, he will always be the villain in the story. The American Historical Association's Perspectives on History online magazine offers an alternative to the perspectives we often see when articles are written about people from the Hispanic population by people who are not Hispanic. So this gives you articles about Hispanic and Latinx populations by people of Hispanic and Latinx heritage. If you are a science person, Christina Termini, I have got to find you on Twitter. I love this. If you are a science person, postdoc fellow Christina Termini gets the win for her Cell Mentor article that features not 5, not 25, not 50, but 100 diverse Hispanic scientists. The article gets bonus points because guess what? They're all alive. I mean, like, who said people have to be dead to be great anyway? All right. You can actually follow them. You can find some of them. You can find their work in JSTOR. You can find some of them on social media. And maybe, who knows, maybe some of them might have enough time to speak to your class. Finally, writers like me. The Palabras Archive of the Library of Congress. And if you don't know the Library of Congress as a resource for educational materials, get to know LOC. The Palabras Archive at the Library of Congress has a stellar connection of interview recordings, podcasts, as well as useful links like the Hispanic Reading Room, which takes you to other links that break down Hispanic, because there was an area called Hispania on some map I've seen, but basically it's all of these different countries, and the Hispanic Reading Room will take you to resources that are from all kinds of individual Afro-Latinx countries. And diversity is always better when it values and validates specificity. All right, the last thing I'd like to tell you, I know a lot of times people want to know, who do you call? How do you call somebody? Are they Hispanic? Are they El Salvadoran? Are they Mexican, Peruvian? Are they Latinx, Latino, Latina? Ask. That's the only thing I would like to leave you with. If you know that they're Peruvian, then say, oh, my friend, my Peruvian friend. If you know that they're Mexican, my Mexican friend, or my Mexican colleague. But if you don't know, then you can just say, hey, where are you from? That's a great question. Well, okay, be careful with that, and I won't get into that right now. But if you want to say Hispanic, then you can also say what is your heritage? What country is your family from? And that way you'll be able to say, oh, okay, not just Hispanic, this big old thing, this big old pot of people who speak Spanish, but an actual country of origin, because countries have such rich heritages, and it's nice to know more about those things. All right, read the blog. Log in, look below for the links for all the resources. Make sure you click around and learn all that stuff. And I hope it helps you in your classrooms to become more culturally responsible and to create more inclusive environments for all your students. Thank you again for coming back to Small Bites. I am Hedrick Nichols. I've enjoyed it, and I will see you next Friday. How do you eat an elephant? One small bite at a time. Thank you all.